Welcome to the show, everybody. This is episode number 190 of the Iron Coop Fights movies. This episode is available on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and hosted by SoundCloud. I'm Keo, your host. With me on the show today are my co-hosts Emerson.
Hey, what's going on?
And Everette.
Hey, what's up?
This week, the team reviews The Green Mile, followed by movie, television, and video game news. If you have not seen the review of the week and would like to avoid spoilers, check the show notes for the timestamp so you can still hear our news sections. Now on to our review of the week. Paul Edgecomb, played by Tom Hanks, walked the mile with a variety of cons. He had never encountered someone like John Coffey, played by Clarke Duncan, a massive black man convicted of brutally killing a pair of young sisters. Coffey had the size and strength to kill anyone, but not the demeanor. Beyond his simple, naive nature and a deathly fear of the dark, Coffey seems to possess a prodigious supernatural gift. Paul began to question whether Coffey was truly guilty of murdering the two girls. That had
That's
some
a
verb
mouthful.
tense issues there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to explain our rating system. On this show, we give the titles that we have watched a rating of win, draw, or loss. A win is a title that we would highly recommend, while a draw is a title we didn't love but recognize others may appreciate. A loss means we do not recommend the title. All right, we're going to just talk straight spoilers for this one. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
So I had always heard this movie was really good. I had heard it was amazing. I'd never seen it before. So this was the first time watching it for me.
Oh, wow.
So it's a win for me. I really enjoyed it. I was apprehensive looking at the time slot. I was like, wow, over 3 hours. Like, we always say on this podcast, longer is usually a sign of it being worse, but I think it used its time really well. I think it was very well acted. We saw a lot of familiar faces from the Tom Hanks cinematic universe.
Yeah.
And it was Gary Sinise and Jackson.
Yeah,
I don't know the actor's
Barry Pepper.
name. Yeah, Barry Pepper. And so it was really an excellent movie. I think it was well acted, well directed. The pacing was really good. So yeah, it's a win for me.
Everett?
I'm going to give it a win as well. I've seen this movie once before, and I remember loving it then, and I still love it now. Just like Emerson said, it's very well directed, it's very well written, it's very well acted. I do think it could have been a little bit shorter, while I do admit 3 hours is used decently well. Like, they used all the time correctly. They could have cut down on a few things. Also, there are a few design choices I would have changed, like when Coffey's actually doing his like resurrection power, and like there's like those flies flying out of his mouth, like they could have made it a little bit more subtle, and I think I would have enjoyed that a little bit more. But other than that, I think the movie's phenomenal.
All right. Yeah, I give it a win. I think that they probably could have cut out maybe like 8 or 9 minutes out of it. But I wouldn't say like 30 minutes needs to go. Even then, that would be a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
I think 8 or 9 minutes. Some of the scenes they drag out really well, and some scenes it's not like I'm like wishing for it to be over, but I do notice like one scene in particular was when Coffey is like transferring the power to Hanks.
Yeah.
To Paul. They cut to Hanks about like 40 times. And it's him like going like, ah. And,
That is true.
I mean, you could have cut at least half of those and like it would have been fine. Like you don't even have to ask yourself, was that too much?
Well, and there's that scene too. The power of that scene is the flashback of seeing what.
Yeah, and it just keeps
the
cutting
guy's
to
doing.
Hanks doing the same like orgasmic face. I mean, I'm not like I don't care. I'm just saying like that was one example of something that they took a little too much with. I got to be honest though, this might be a better film than Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
I mean,
They're different genres, but this is really tight as a film. They're like
the writing. I mean, we talked the movie through last week, and like we pointed out, at least I did, some things that didn't quite like a little leap in logic here or there. It's still incredibly well made. This movie is incredibly well made and doesn't have those holes, like any suspension of disbelief in that sense. Like there is like the guy has powers, but the plot is very clean and extremely well layered.
Yeah, I thought this movie would have been a nice fresh breath of fresh air since our last Stephen King movie we watched did not go over very well.
Well,
Yeah.
you can feel that it's based on a book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I believe Stephen King said that this movie is like the most faithful adaptation he's ever had, which I mean, obviously it doesn't count, but this was pre-it. But I just think about like so many things. It was so well written when like they set up the sponge thing in advance, or the transference of the power. Like a lot of these things are set up way in advance. The sickness, what was wrong with Tom Hanks's, like,
He had a urinary tract
he
infection.
had an infection.
Urinary tract infection.
Like all of that was the groundwork for that was set very early.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I wanted to mention about the 3-hour time stamp, because usually when it happens is when we've seen these 3-hour long movies, It Too being an example. I'm trying to think of some, but usually when we see these long run times, what that usually means is a bunch of people doing stupid stuff or sitting around or just like nonsense. However, this movie uses that time to sort of set up characters so you see stuff later. I was surprised how big the urinary tract infection ended up playing a role in the story, and they drag it out for long enough that you're like, oh, this is just something he has. So when it gets taken away, you're like, holy shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So, see, the thing between this and Saving Private Ryan is Saving Private Ryan was always a movie. It was a screenplay, and in some ways it's a lot harder to write that type of screenplay.
Right.
This is a book, and it's not as hard to adapt this book into a film. They still did a fantastic job with it. I just think as a film, I don't know how it could be better. Like, you
I
could say
agree.
it's flawless.
And that's another thing. The movie is excellent at showing what I'm going to call different... Like, it forces the viewer to face some questions. One example I have is, we spend a lot of time with these inmates on death row, and they become likable, most of them. Like Dell. I felt bad when Dell was going to die. But then you're also seeing the people in the crowd, and that reminds you, oh, he committed some sort of crime.
In the book, he like raped and murdered someone.
Okay,
Dell
well, so there you
raped
go.
and murdered someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like...
I mean,
but
he's
you're
on death
reminded,
row.
like, yeah, he's done something.
He doesn't
But-
seem very death row-ish, if that makes sense.
Well, you didn't pass a woman by him.
The point I'm trying to make is the movie's really good at making you empathize with most of these people and
Because of
showing
Percy,
you this.
mostly.
Yes, Percy's especially good. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But the movie's really good at
That
making
guy
you
was
empathize
40
with
years
these
old,
people.
by the way.
He kind of looked like Paul Rudd.
I kind of thought he
A
looked
little.
like a young Michael Keaton, almost.
All right, I don't know what you were smoking when you watched this.
I wasn't smoking anything. I thought, like... my thought was, like, if they were to use, like, a younger version of him, like, in Batman films, they could have used him. But whatever.
You know this was 1998.
Yes, I know.
Michael Keaton was not that much older.
No, I know. I'm saying... Why do you have to analyze it? I said he looked like a younger Michael Keaton.
Okay. All right. He also looked like a young Marilyn Monroe while we're at it. It's just...
You were saying?
Anyways, yeah, I was just trying to make the point that the movie is really great at sort of challenging the viewer, I thought, just because, you empathize with these people and Dell, and you're like, wow, Percy's a piece of garbage. He deserves what he gets. And then, Dell goes and walks down, and you get that scene with the couple saying, like, well, I hope he burns in hell. I hope he's... And you are reminded there, oh, he did something wrong. And then just that running theme where... the good get punished, the bad get punished, everybody kind of gets punished.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's the theme of the movie. I guess.
No, it's. I'd say it's undercurrent that's there. I don't know if I could say it's a theme.
So one nitpick of the film is, John Coffey. I mean, Michael Clarke Duncan. First of all, they didn't know who to cast for this. The list of people that they were looking at was Shaquille O'Neal, and that's it.
Oh
So
God!
they just needed a tall black man.
Well, they were trying to find a giant. Yeah, a giant black person. Like that was what the role was. You couldn't be small and do it. So Bruce Willis recommended Michael Clarke Duncan from Armageddon, which is like, that's so weird because Armageddon was a big movie, and it's like, if you're looking for a giant black man, how do you not, like, there's only one in movies other than Shaquille O'Neal, who was like he played like Shazam or something. What was, do you guys remember that Shaquille O'Neal genie movie?
Yeah.
No.
What was it called?
It was a superhero movie. I don't know.
Was it Kazam?
Hold on, I'll look it up.
He was a genie. He wasn't a superhero. Was it Shazam? It was Kazam. Yeah, Kazam. Anyway, so they pick Michael Clarke Duncan. I mean, he's like crying in literally every scene. His eyes are like dripping. And so I forgot what I was going to say. I think I was going to say he did such a good job. You guys know that they made him look way bigger?
Yeah, I was thinking that because I remember seeing him in the Daredevil movie. Yeah. And I was like, he looks even larger than there.
Well, do you remember when I said that he tried to sell chairs to the library?
Vaguely?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, he showed up to the library one day and was trying to sell us his chairs. I don't know why. But I've seen him in person. And he wasn't that much taller than me. And I'm like just 6 foot. So
are his muscles really that large? Because they seemed a little like not inflated. But
he was older at that point. Like he died not too soon after that. So I don't know. He's a big guy. I wouldn't say that I would say he was a thick person, more than he was like hugely muscular. But yeah, he has big. I think he was a bodybuilder or something. Because I read the trivia and it said that they asked him to stop lifting weights prior to the film because even though they wanted him big, people back then didn't look like that. They didn't have like perfectly sculpted muscles. So anyway, yeah, I was going to say they gave him a smaller electric chair, a smaller bed, a smaller cell. He's obviously wearing lifts in some scenes.
Perspective tricks.
Yeah, because the guy, I forget the guy's name. Robert Morse, maybe. He played George Washington in the John Adams miniseries.
Brutal? Is that who you're talking about?
I guess his name might have been Brutal. I don't know. The tall guy, the biggest guy.
Yeah, Brutal.
Yeah, Brutal.
So he's taller, or he's very close in height to Michael Clarke Duncan. And then James Cromwell, who was the warden, he's taller than Michael Clarke Duncan. He's like huge.
Really?
Yeah, he's gigantic. Is he alive still?
I don't know.
Has to be dead.
I like him as an actor.
He has to be dead. He played Prince Philip in the Queen movie. He was Captain Stacy.
Oh yeah, he was Captain Stacy.
He's still alive.
Spider-Man 3.
I don't know how.
What the fuck?
I mean, because tall people don't live that long.
That's true. The heart has to work harder.
He's still alive. He's 81 years old. About the same as Mitch McConnell, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's weird. Like, people are just living. Yeah. Oh, McConnell's 78. Goddamn. What else? So, the thing with the mouse. The one thing I remembered from this movie was that he killed the mouse. Percy killed the mouse. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even remember that he comes back. I liked his powers. But the one nitpick of the film is like when the truth comes out that Coffey didn't kill him, he asks Tom Hanks to let him die because he's so tired of all the pain and suffering in the world.
Right.
That he feels so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know.
Like, it doesn't make sense, or
I mean, you could fit the breadcrumbs. I'm not sure the timing of it makes sense. He's already a grown man, and he's on death row, and he's like, you could get off death row because, like, obviously Tom Hanks will vouch for you, and he could tell anyone who wants. He could show them, and they'd be like, "This guy is a miracle," and like, we shouldn't kill him. Or I don't know. You could do a couple things. You could like try to help him escape or something. He doesn't want to do any of that. He just wants to die. Meanwhile, he's like sniffing the grass. Like, I love the smell of grass.
Yeah, I mean, because I took it as like, because he kept saying I can feel all the pain and the suffering. And, like, if he could feel that, like, I don't know, maybe, like, I kind of get that. Like, imagine feeling, like, you feel the guy in the electric chair, you feel the people being murdered. Like, it might be time to just be like,
I never understood. Was he literally feeling everything around him at all
I
times?
think that was the point, yeah.
It was like an empathetic power almost, like being able to feel people's
Right.
emotions on the deepest level.
Right. And I'm like, I get if you're in a prison on death row and it's like, yeah, people keep getting murdered or executed.
Well,
But,
also,
like-
this was like in the 30s, right? On top, like, people were pretty racist back then also. Like, so you can add that in.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if let's just say he lives on, like, Tom Hanks's farm for the rest of his life, is he going to be suffering all day long?
Well, I don't know the distance of his suffering. Like, how can he...
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
feel
saying. So that part of it is like, really, you're just gonna like you're just like fucking kill me, even though you have this power that you clearly understand. Like he understands its importance. And he's like, nah, I'd rather just go. I'm good. I mean, that's what he says.
That is what he said.
He's
and
like,
then
"Don't trouble yourself."
Tom Hanks is even like, when I go to heaven, I'm gonna be like charged with killing the Messiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be judged like I've killed his own miracle, and he's like, listen, at the end of the day, just tell him
Just
like
tell him
you're
I
doing
wanted
me
it.
Yeah, say you're doing me a favor. And Tom Hanks is just like, okay. And then at the time when it's like, I'm gonna actually kill this dude, and like you're telling yourself, well, he wants to die. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I would not do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but
I would come up with a story. I was thinking, why don't they say that he confessed and that Percy hated Coffey so much that he just killed the guy? And,
Well,
you know,
you'd need a corpse for
Sam
that,
Rockwell.
right?
No, you have Sam Rockwell's body. He already shot him. So, like, he confessed, and Percy tried to silence him. And, like, all the guards will be like, yeah, we heard it. He didn't do it.
I was going to say, like, why not bring a judge in and just have Coffey show them what happened, and then just have them make the legislation? Because, like, isn't that one of the lines they say, like, from a judge in good standing in the state? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they could have done. The other thing is, why don't you tell the farmer, like, hey, what about that guy that was there the day before your kids were
who's
murdered?
like living with you? Because we found out he's been like murdering and doing all sorts of horrible shit.
Yeah, and
So,
also
like,
he's like in the jail cell right now. I mean, yeah, that's the one part of it. Because what happens is it leads to the next part, the heaviest part of the film, where they kill Coffey. And it's like, why are we killing him again? Like, there was really no other way. He wants to die. The guy who's just been like the nicest, loving person. He loves everything. And he wants to die.
I mean, I understand why the book and the movie went that way. Because, like, you know, it's Stephen King. He likes having the endings be
I like it too.
darker.
Yeah.
But, like, something should have happened to Coffey. Like, are you telling me that if they're like, hey, by the way, we found out that it wasn't you, so you're free to go. Is he going to throw himself in front of a car? Is that what you're telling me? Is he jumping off a bridge?
I mean, it's the 30s, right? It's the 30s, Great Depression. What state are they in? Florida?
So he could lay on a train track.
Well, no, I don't think it was Florida. I think they were somewhere else. They were talking about going to Florida to bring them out.
I think it's in the South. I think it's like
Yeah,
Louisiana.
but my point is, you know, I mean, he's a black
Yeah, it is
man
Louisiana.
in the 30s,
Yeah.
Louisiana. Like, he might not have been allowed to go free even if he didn't do it.
I know.
might have
I think
been-
it's Louisiana. That's what it says online.
Well, yeah, because of the Cajun accent. But and also you could see like those plantation houses look very Louisiana-ish. But I'm saying like if they let him go, like they're like, hey, you just go away, you're fine, don't worry about it. And then, are you telling me he's like, I got to find a way to die? Like that was my ticket, and now, like, now what? I should commit another crime. I don't know. That part just doesn't work. Yeah.
Well, I had a thought regarding like punishment we were talking about earlier, and let me ask you guys a question first. Out of the two ways you see someone die, technically in this movie, getting shot in the electric chair, what would you consider to be more merciful?
I
Probably
mean,
getting shot, right?
depends on
Getting
the, yeah, but
Yeah.
like, there's degrees of the electric chair.
That was actually one thing. Why didn't they fucking shoot him in the head when he was burning alive?
I don't know. They were just.
I
I don't know if they like can, because like you're sentenced to die in a specific way, like the court mandates by electric chair.
Yeah, but like once people were running out because of the smell, I think you can.
He literally had like blue flame erupting from his body.
Yeah,
At that
Percy
point, just
was
mercy
brutal.
kill
Percy
him.
was a piece of shit.
I mean, you could tell he didn't know it was gonna look like that.
I mean, yeah, but still, like, what a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What a fuck. I'm so happy with what they did to him. Because I was wondering what the comeuppance to Percy would be, because I know Stephen King likes comeuppance. Mm-hmm. And so I was curious, like, are they going to kill him? Is he going to be jailed? Like, but that was a good punishment.
Well, the one part of the movie that felt like it kind of took me out of it a little was when it was almost played as a joke, the mental hospital thing.
That he's at the same hospital he was going to work at?
Yeah, like when he walks in, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is where he ended up. Like, I get it. But then they kind of laid it on a little thick when they show the outside shot and it pulls back and it shows like mental hospital in case you haven't figured it out yet.
Well, no, the mental hospital, it was showing the name. It's the same one he applied
Yeah, I mean,
to.
I assumed that was where he was, like the mental hospital that they were talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't like, and then the music in that moment, it was like, I don't know. It didn't fit
Okay.
with the rest of the tone of the film. But I'm trying to think like other scenes that took a little too long. Like I think maybe the old man stuff took a little too long. Originally they were going to have Tom Hanks in old makeup, but they just couldn't make it look good.
I mean, that's the better choice. Don't do stupid, like, nonsense if you don't have
Yeah.
to.
So when it switched back at the end to the old man,
Yeah.
and like at first it seemed like he was saying he was a unreliable narrator.
Yeah, because he's like, the numbers don't add up.
And I was like, fuck this. I was like, this movie just went from great to bad. That like if he had been making it up the whole time.
He's just fucking lying.
So then I see Mr. Jingles and I was like, what the hell is this? Is this supposed to be like a happy ending now? Like somehow the mouse lived?
Yeah, and then it like goes on, it becomes sad again. It's like punishment.
Yeah, he explains they both got the power of life that Coffey gave them. And I kind of like that. I'm not sure it makes sense. Like, he got the punishment before he committed the crime. But I understand. It's kind of a cool thing. I actually ended up liking that sequence. I think maybe they should cut out some of it at the beginning, though. Because the movie needs to end at that point.
Yeah, because like it is a little bit. When I was watching it last night, I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like being coy and he's like planting the
Let's
seeds
take a walk.
to tell the story.
Like-
I was like, no, can you just get to
Yeah.
it? It's like 2 hours and 50 minutes now. We don't need to like watch you play games.
Yeah, they could have just started it at him crying at the movie. I didn't really need to see him like argue with the guy at the dinner table about
You
taking
know,
walks.
that song, I don't know where I've heard that song recently. It might have been Sopranos. It might have been Everybody Loves Raymond.
okay.
But I've heard that, and I've actually been singing it the past couple days or like weeks or something. It's been in my head. And then they played it again here. I was like, where? I've never seen the video of it. So I heard the audio somewhere. I don't know where. What else? I wish Barry Pepper had like a slightly larger role. I think he originally auditioned for Percy.
Really?
And I don't know that he would have been right for that.
No.
What else? I guess one thing that they changed from the book was the older guy, the short older guy. His appearance was swapped with Barry Pepper's character. And like he had glasses and was kind of meek and all that. They swapped that. Made Barry Pepper's character young, family man, and him old and meek, kind of. It definitely seemed like the guards at the mile, I mean, they were essentially making it up as they went.
Yeah.
It was not an organized team there. They kept saying whatever happens stays on the mile, but also like they're not equipped to handle any of those prisoners.
No, they aren't. Like, well, actually, the only ones they're equipped to handle are like Dell and the other dude, I forget his name.
Yeah, the Indian guy.
Yeah, the guys who are just like basically just quiet and do whatever. Because the minute what's his name's character comes
Sam
in,
Rockwell.
yeah, Sam Rockwell's character comes in.
I think Wharton, something like that.
Dude, they're walking close to
Wild
him. He's
Bill.
reaching out and grabbing them. He's
Yeah.
peeing on them. He's spitting on them.
I forgot he was in this.
When he first enters, he almost kills one of them. He almost kills Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
One thing I do remember about this movie was the image of the bloody girls. That I did remember.
Well,
And
when Coffey's just sitting with them.
yeah, I like with their heads are like red. Essentially, the hair is red. I remember that. And then when you see the flashback, it's gut wrenching when you see him.
yeah.
I remembered the twist, but Emerson, you didn't know. So what did you think
When it's revealed that he didn't do it.
when it's revealed that it was Wild Bill?
So I didn't. I suspected from the beginning he probably wasn't going to be guilty or there was going to be more to it. Like, I was like, not from the beginning, but once you get introduced to him, I'm sitting there and saying, okay, so there's going to be more to this. When it was revealed that it was Wild Bill, I was like, what the fuck? My first response was just kind of like, wow, so everyone's an idiot, basically. Because he clearly has been murdering, because they even describe when they bring him in, they're like, he's been murdering his way around the state. Like, he's, like, killed a pregnant, like, this dude's a bad guy. And he was obviously in the area. He was in the house meeting the daughters, and
Yeah.
no one put two and two together. No one, like, investigated or followed up.
Because the murder, like whatever he got caught for, happened 2 days after he killed.
Exactly.
How
And
far
you're-
could he
you're
have gone?
How did
Well, the other
Coffey
thing-
even show up there in the first place? Did he just hear like two girls like getting murdered? And
Yeah,
That's
that's what I'm
not
thinking. He's just like roaming the woods.
I assume he felt them getting murdered, and he ran to try to, like, save them, but he couldn't, which is why he
Probably.
was, crying.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't resurrect them. But the thing is that, like, you'd think that when he goes to visit Gary Sinise's character, Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
there's that sign which says, no work, stay out, blah, 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 blah. And you think that the first thing you do when you find two dead people isn't, let's chase the black guy. Let's, like, talk to the people around the area. Oh, you have this drifter living with you? Oh, he just got arrested for, like, multiple murders, homicides, and other crimes? Like,
out of curiosity, so this is the 30s. This was before like major forensics stuff was invented, right?
oh, yeah,
Like
way before.
fingerprinting and stuff. So yeah, I guess
In fact, if you want to learn more about forensics, if you watch People versus O.J. Simpson, they describe it becoming into law enforcement a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
When was fingerprinting invented?
Well, fingerprinting is older, but the database is not. I don't know when it was invented. But, like, fingerprinting used to not be that great unless you already had the criminals,
Yeah.
because you couldn't access it and, like, scan
Right, yeah.
instantly.
Right.
One thing I was going to say that I found interesting is, this is, a couple years before World War II starts. You got Tom Hanks, you got Private Jackson. I was like, in another universe, they're about to go join up.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
It's an excellent movie. It is.
Well, the point I was trying to make earlier, but I kind of like lost track for a second, was I was trying to say I thought that it was kind of ironic how Wild Bill got shot instead of got electrocuted, because I feel like that was a little bit more merciful. That's why I was asking you guys, which do you think is more merciful?
That makes sense, yeah. I mean, I don't know if he was going for that, but yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
worst
and-
guy in the block gets shot, meanwhile the innocent guy gets electrocuted with his face uncovered.
The electrocution thing, if it's done correctly, from what I understand, the first shock causes brain death.
Uh-huh.
So, like,
So you don't feel
I
it?
don't know. I don't entirely know. Like, the thing is that, like, the way they describe it is the sponge allows the first shock to concentrate on the brain, which causes brain death. So it's like, okay. And then if you get shot, like, I don't know. The thing is, he got shot 4 times in the chest, and it seemed like he was just down and out. If he'd, like, lingered for, like, a couple seconds, like, I don't know, choking on his own blood, that would have been worse, right? But, I don't know.
He got put right down, though.
Yeah, they put him down.
So do you guys think this is do you think this is better than Saving Private Ryan?
So I acknowledge my own internal biases here, whereas that I like the setting of Saving Private Ryan more, and that like that's something I'm more interested in. But as a movie, I would probably have to say that at the very least they're equal. And I see what you're saying, why it might have to be considered better. Because me and you did talk about like the oddities in Saving Private Ryan. You were bringing up a lot of them, and I saw the logic there. So. Yeah, I really don't have any other criticisms. And once again, that's shocking for a movie of this length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea that he wants to die, it's like set up, but
Don't
I'm not
worry,
sure
we'll go into that in the fight of the week.
So, all right. Well, yeah, I guess we can go to the fight of the week now.
All right. So you kind of brought this up. So me, Everett, and you are prison guards. We have witnessed these miracles. We have witnessed everything. Percy's gone. We've witnessed these miracles. But John Coffey, he wants to die. But we aren't going to let him. We are going to break him out against his will and get him out. However, Tom Hanks is there, and he, wants to respect John Coffey's wishes. And John Coffey wants to respect John Coffey's wishes. So, Kia, how are we going to break him out?
There?
Yeah, Tom Hanks, like, we're 3 other guards, okay? Because otherwise, if we're the only ones, it's easy. We just, like, sedate him and take him out. But Tom Hanks is there. He's like, we're respecting his wishes. But how did the 3 of us get John Coffey out against his will and get him to freedom?
All right, first thing was we just told Tom Hanks, I'm like, we're fucking breaking him out. I don't care. We're not killing him. I'm not doing it. I don't care about my job. He would probably go along with it. I think he was waiting.
Or at least look the other way.
I think he was waiting for anyone to say, like, don't do it. So I'm telling him, like, we're fucking doing it. You can, like, go home, call in sick. I don't care. And then with John Coffey, I'll just be like, hey, we got some cornbread. Just come on out.
Wow.
He likes it. And he'll just come on out and be like, yeah, it's your last meal. Just keep going. Get in that taxi. We're taking you to the cornbread factory. Right next to Mouseville. And then, I don't know, where do we take him? To the north? Where should we take him?
Canada, probably.
Yeah, it would probably be better to get him out of the country.
Yeah, we take him to Canada, but then, like, we, like, get out to go to the bathroom, he jumps in front of a bus.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta die. Like, as soon as he sees the, like, you're leaving America sign, he's like, no.
We're, like, trying to stop him. We're all, like, each one of us has a limb. And he, like, throws Everett. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Kid, do you remember that really shitty artwork?
Yeah, that's
that
what I
had
was
made
thinking.
of us fighting down Thanos.
We should get a version of that with us trying to fight John.
It was the 3 of us fighting Thanos. I'm the only one in, like, for some reason, like, wrestling attire, like a singlet.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And me and Everett are in normal clothes.
Yeah.
It looked awful.
And we're, like, trying to fight Thanos.
And,
But
like,
that's how...
Kia's like around his neck and he's like super short.
yeah, the perspective, like, made me a midget or something.
I'm like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Because I'm like at Thanos' neck.
Just Photoshop it to make it look like it's John
Yeah,
Coffey.
us v. John Coffey.
All right, how about this? Here's another fight of the week. You got 2 bullets in your gun,
Okay.
and you have Percy, Upham, and Everett. Who do you shoot?
Really?
Everett. No, okay. So 100%.
Shoot Everett twice?
No. I would not shoot Everett. But Percy. See, Upham, the thing is, Upham need.
Why don't you stick Wild Bill
It's
in
a
my
debate.
place?
It's a debate. It's a debate between shooting Percy twice or shooting Upham in the crotch and shooting Percy in the lung. I'm not sure. Like that's the way to do it. With 2 bullets, Percy needs to die.
Everett.
Yeah, Everett can live.
Everett, swap you with me, and you have the gun.
2 bullets, those 2, and you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd.
Now remember, Percy's never made fun of you. Percy never called you fat. Percy doesn't.
Well,
kill
I wouldn't shoot you.
Dude, Kia wants to die.
Percy doesn't kill you in every fight of the week.
Are you trying to get me to kill you?
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't kill you.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
He's a glutton.
I
for
would
punishment.
shoot. I would follow Emerson's thing, but I would do it a little differently. I'd shoot Upham in the crotch, and then I would put the two of them together and use the last bullet to hit both of their heads at the same time.
So Upham is worse than Percy?
I hate Percy. Percy sucks. I don't care if he never made fun of me. If I watched the shit that he did,
Wait, you said you were gonna shoot Upham in the crotch first.
I shot Upham in the crotch.
Yeah, so Upham gets 2 bullets.
Upham
Yeah,
has
but
to
they both
suffer.
die. Yeah, they both
but
die though.
Upham suffers more.
Alright, fine. Then I'd do the same thing. Then I'd put them back to back, and I'd shoot them both in the crotch,
But then you still have a bullet.
and then I'd shoot them both in the head. Equal treatment.
I don't know. Whoever
I
gets
think-
shot in the crotch first definitely got it worse.
Percy needs. That's why I said shoot Upham in the crotch and Percy in the lung, because it's possible that Upham could survive the crotch, but the lung is a long, drawn out death.
But if you get shot in the dick, is like you basically
Like you're
want
probably
to die
you-
at that point.
Yeah, you want to
I mean,
die, but I'm gonna
at
give him
that
the
point,
option to be a coward.
Just if you had like more bullets, just have John Candy heal him over and over again. Just keep shooting him.
Did you say
Just call
John
him
Candy?
Candy.
Oh, John Coffey, sorry.
John Candy. I like it when you keep
Where is that name from? That's an actual name.
He's a
Hold on.
comedian, I think.
Is it?
Like an actor.
Oh, John Candy. He's that guy from. I remember him. He's in Spaceballs.
Doesn't he play like a fat cat in something?
Yeah, the Spaceballs. He just
Is
dressed
that
up as a dog.
Spaceballs? Yeah,
I think he died of like a drug overdose or something.
John Candy.
as you do.
Oh.
He died in
All right.
Mexico.
All right. Well, why don't you give Emerson the same scenario then, since we both had to do it?
Who's in the chair?
Um.
Well, I did give Emerson.
Yeah, it was
Scenario.
you, Everett.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what about who hasn't done it yet? Then
Kia.
Hasn't
but
done
like,
it.
you're welcome to give.
I said
Okay,
I shoot Everett twice.
there we go.
I mean, it'd be only right if Emerson was in my place because he hasn't been there yet.
Hi.
Yeah, but you're obviously not going to shoot Emerson over the other two.
Why would you shoot me? What have I ever done to you?
No, he took your spot.
But you said you'd shoot me twice.
Okay, fine, Everett. Fine. How about this? It's Percy, me, and Emerson in those chairs.
Then I'd shoot Percy twice, obviously.
All right, my answer's still the same.
Why though? Explain yourself. Why would you kill me twice?
Because it's funny, Everett. It's funny. The realization when you see that I wasted both bullets on you, that would be enough for me.
walk out. And John Coffey's like, what the fuck? As Percy walks out, and Jackson's like, are you fucking kidding me?
No, John Coffey, everyone looks at him to heal Everett, and he's like, I get it.
God
He's
damn.
like, no, he's crying, and he's like, something's happened for a reason.
I punished them, boss.
Oh, good.
All right, let's move on to the roundup. WandaVision episode 4 in spoilers. Did everybody watch it?
Yeah.
I thought this was the only episode worth watching so far.
This is
because it's the only
This is the
episode.
only episode. Yeah. This should have been the first 2 episodes. This interlinked with what's going on in the
I think you could have put the first 3 episodes into one and then had this be episode number 2.
Emerson and
Yeah,
I kind of had a talk about this after we both saw it, and I said it would have been a lot better if not only had you started with this episode and just kind of saved the rest for interludes, but it would make the plot a little bit more mysterious if you saw the first you saw of the actual television show on those monitors, like wondering what is this, what's going on.
I think there is something to say for the first episode being kind of like a what the fuck. And then the problem with, if you take the best of all 3 episodes, that's an okay episode. The problem is when you spread them out amongst 3 episodes, each episode
It's
is
just boring.
terrible. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think you have that first initial like release and everyone is like, what is going on with the show? What is this? And then the second episode, you have this like reveal. I think right now we'd be sitting here saying like, episode number 3 right now. We want to know what's going on. Instead, what
Yeah.
you have is like, we've gone through 3 weeks of crap where we're basically like, is there any point to watching? And now we see that there is a point to watching, and we're like, okay, let's give it a chance.
I have a point to make about that. So I thought the opening was really cool, like seeing, like, I love that idea that, like, you're in an already full hospital and then these people from years ago are coming back who were in the hospital.
Didn't they say that they get teleported safely? It seems
I
like
thought
they're
it was
being,
just where they were when they died.
Yeah, I
Yes.
didn't hear about the safely thing.
well, so all like anyone who was in a plane is just
Yeah, you're screwed. But
Yeah, but people argued saying you spawn. I say spawn. You spawn in the plane, not in the air where the plane was. Like you're in the seat of the
either
plane.
way, do we all agree that that's like a cool concept? Like, I love that doctor being like, they're all coming back. We don't have the capacity. Like that, I like seeing some aftermath of the snap. I like seeing that.
that all kind of didn't make sense to me. I'm like, she has a little too much understanding of what's happening. She,
The
like,
woman who
is-
was screaming, they're all coming back.
yeah, like we don't have enough capacity. Like,
Well, because the hospital is filled with people who are already there. And then now you have all these other patients who were in the hospital, some getting treatment, some sick, who are coming back.
so are they like appearing on top of the people that were in their bed, or
I don't know.
Yeah, say
but
someone like
maybe.
was in a coma and on a respirator, did they just like smash on the floor when they like reappeared in the like, thin air?
Probably.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't reappear in thin air. Based on what you said, they would reappear in the bed that's
Yeah.
probably occupied by someone already.
Like on
But-
top of someone.
But back to the point I was trying to make. So, like, that was a cool scene to me. But I'm going to be honest. Like, a lot of the acting and some of the episode, like, it was good, but not great. I wasn't blown away by this episode.
Yeah,
I'm happy because
it
it's a
starts
show
off-
now.
Yeah, it starts off strong, and then it has its like gaps in logic. Like, when did Darcy become an astrophysicist? Wasn't she
Yeah,
like?
I'm already tired
An
of her. I've
intern?
had enough of her.
Yeah, but like not even an intern. Like, I want to be an astrophysicist. I thought it was
She was
literally
just
like, I need.
I'm around.
Yeah, I have like a requirement I have to fill. So I'm a moron. Here I am. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny that I'm with smart people?
And then the other
When
thing
did
is
Dark
that, like,
World take place?
I don't know.
But I'm also assuming that Sword or part of Sword is going to be shown to be evil. That's
Well,
the assumption.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
getting.
got to be some aspect to it. Oh, what about when they showed? I don't know which one is which anymore, but the Rambo mother.
Monica
Yeah.
Rambeau?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No, is her name Monica or is it Maria?
I don't know. All I saw was
Who's
that her
who?
nickname was Photon.
Yeah, the photon thing is like. Can we stop giving them nicknames that have absolutely nothing to do with what they did?
it's interesting in the sense of like,
Avenger.
okay, so she helped found Sword, which is like, okay, like fine.
I mean, I've seen that arc before. Like, that's not cool anymore.
But the other thing is like, if they pull the like Sword is evil again after doing it with Shield, I'm gonna be like, come on, don't be tired.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, Wanda is apparently the bad guy right now.
Which I'm okay with.
I like
that's
that, yeah.
fine. But I don't want it to get revealed that like, oh, actually Sword is the bad guy, and then at the very end it turns out Sword is Hive working for Mephisto. I don't want to see that. Like,
I mean,
give us a bad
what-
guy. Go ahead.
Well, what's the scenario that you see of them being evil? Like they find
Look,
out
all
what's
I'm
going
saying-
on and they're like, let's control this for our own gains.
Well, all I'm saying is that like, just some of the vibe that acting director of Sword gives me, and like, you know, they seem to be introducing side characters who don't like Sword, who are like gonna be able to do their own thing, like the
Like who?
FBI agent and
Oh, Wu?
Darcy, Wu and Darcy and Rambeau. These people who aren't involved with Sword heavily and are kind of on their own, and that kind of makes me think that they're gonna set up Sword as its. Like something's gonna go wrong, and I'm assuming they're gonna become a Hive at some point, or AIM. I don't remember.
AIM
which
already
is which.
exists.
Yeah, but Everett, I can 100% see them bring it back.
I think they will bring
Maybe.
it back at some point. I just don't know. Like, they
I
might
don't
have to
want-
use something else to be what AIM is in the comics.
Yeah, I don't want Sword to be evil necessarily because I'm tired of that trope, but I'm suspecting that's where it's gonna go just because we have this like group of side characters
What
who
is Sword
aren't
again?
really with.
It's the
Is it
flip
like-
side of Shield. They're defending against like intergalactic threats or whatever.
And what does so Shield is like domestic?
Shield is domestic defense, like planetary defense against space threats. Sword is more like study and offense in some way. Like that's why it's Sword.
Okay, I thought It would make sense for them to just establish like a new shield that's not
which is what it seems like it's going to be, but I don't know. I just assume that's what's going to happen, and I'd rather it didn't. I also hope that... I'm assuming the ending right now is going to be Wanda is the bad guy, but she's being manipulated by someone else. Right?
I don't know. It definitely, I mean, based on what they've shown us, she definitely seems to be pissed off and like doing this on her own. I don't know where the villain comes in. I thought it was going to be Catherine Hahn. Now I'm thinking maybe it was that blonde woman. But I really don't know. So I'm intrigued. Like I like the tone. Remember we were always saying like we want like remember that post credit sequence of Ant-Man with the alarms going off?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always said we wanted to see a little bit more of that. And so they did touch on that. I would still want to see more, but the whole like snap aftermath. I mean, this was the snap back, so not quite the same thing, but I like that they're thinking about this. It's such a breath of fresh air after being like what the first 3 episodes were, that they think that was good, and like that was what people like me wanted to see.
Dude, on the Marvel Studios subreddit, there's people eating it up. They're like, it's like getting a full movie every week. Like, I love it. If someone says it was too slow, like, you have ADD. That's what they're saying.
You want to know what a good example
It's
of
not slow,
Reddit
it's
and the internet
boring.
ruining something for me?
Yeah, what?
I saw so many posts about Wu finally doing that like card trick thing that Ant-Man taught him.
I know.
But I saw so
I thought
much
that was a
of
nice
it that
touch.
it was a nice touch, but when you see like 50 posts about it, it kind of gets ruined.
Well, some people like make a career off posting stuff like that. That's how it becomes like that. Like someone sees it, then they're like, "Oh, I'll post this on my account." Wu's okay.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I don't mind him. It's just like,
Darcy, I like Darcy more than most people. I don't really understand how she like is there though.
I don't know. What'd you guys think of Vision Corpse?
I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah.
Probably the best part. Too bad it was only for a second.
Yeah, and I really hope they leave him dead at the end of this. I don't want him coming back like they found a way.
I think he's coming back. Either she goes like further off the deep end, or he's coming back.
Okay, but what would you like if you were in charge of what would happen to Vision?
I would like for her to go off the deep end. She's done a lot of movies by now. You got to remember, like, they must be paying her a fortune. So at some point, they have to give her an exit.
Yeah.
I don't know if Doctor Strange is like the last one for her. But she definitely needs to lose her mind and tie that into the X-Men somehow and like be gone.
I saw a theory that the Fantastic Four are going to be introduced as sword agents.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what sword is yet, but that would be cool.
Like they work because the sword has a space program. I've been looking at this, and like one of the theories is that they will be part of the space program being sent up, and something will happen.
Well, yeah. Remember they mentioned that whatever her name is, like the Rambo's daughter who's in this. I forget her name. Remember, she got grounded. She can't go up into space anymore. So maybe they could replace her with all those people. That'd be nice.
Yeah. We should probably figure out who's who.
Yeah, this is a major landmine.
That was, if you guys ever watched Mad Men, that's Dawn in Mad Men.
Yeah.
The daughter. And the mom is supposedly in the new James Bond film. I don't know. All right, moving on. You guys have anything else for that?
Nope.
No.
All right, I finished Yellowstone. The show hasn't ended. There's a new season coming in June. Yellowstone is like, it's like half good and half trashy. So like, I like the picturesque setting. I like the story, the plot, the setting of ranching, and basically what the show is. It's the Lannisters from Game of Thrones. Except instead of the kingdom, it's their
ranch.
giant ranch, and people are they have a dispute with the Native Americans, and like corporate people are trying to move in and to build homes and like retail and stuff, and they're all trying to like do illegal things to get him to sell, and he's got his family he's trying to pass it down to, but they're all like disappointments, and it actually is a lot like the Lannisters if you knew all the details. It's very similar. Mm-hmm. But then they have this other side of it, which is like Cobra Kai, where they act like like the way that Cobra Kai acts like karate is like the coolest thing,
Yeah.
and like everyone loves it and like is afraid of it.
Yeah.
They do the same thing here, but it's like being a cowboy. And they like constantly shit on anyone who's like not a cowboy. Like they'll bring the investment guy to one of the clubs and be like, "This place is too tough for you." And like some guy walks away, he's like, "What the fuck you say, city boy?" And then he just like beats the shit out of them. They're all fighters. They fight all the time, like for no reason. And they're all like super fighters too. They know everything. They're good with guns. They're good with their fists. They can ride horses better than anyone. Like one guy tried to escape in a car and they lassoed his neck
What
through the window.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty funny in that way. And I actually like it for that side too. I think that some people probably watch that and think it's cool. I don't know. I think it's funny, and like that part always cracks me up. And then there's like the romantic side, like the romantic side of being a cowboy. There's that side too. So I think women would like it also.
Well, my
Kevin
mom
Costner
likes it.
Oh, she does? Yeah, she would like it. She would want to. It's made for her, basically.
Yeah, and it's also like the cross section of like horses, ranching, like.
Yeah, family, like whatever. It's cool. I like it. I'll keep watching. I like the other show that I kind of watch like that is Vikings, which is like on TV, but I don't watch it on TV. I wait for it to show up on streaming. I would say Vikings is better. It takes itself a little more seriously. This is good too. I think this is like the highest rated show on television right now. At least that's what I heard. Then I also randomly started watching The Last Man on Earth. Has anyone seen that?
I have actually.
I
like
saw
it.
trailers for it.
Do you remember? Do you know how I started watching it?
No.
Coach Falk was complaining about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was complaining about it to me and Oscar. He was like, "It doesn't make any sense. Like, how are you the last man on Earth? Like, how could that be?" And like, me and Oscar just like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I don't understand. Are there other people? Like, why is he alive? Like, how's he alive?" And I was like, "All right." So I watched the first season. I haven't. I know there's 4 seasons.
I think there's 4 seasons, and then it got canceled on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So I don't know. I'm enjoying it though. It's a good show to binge. It's definitely a show that you binge. Like every episode ends on a cliffhanger. It's pretty funny too. It's not the funniest show I've seen, but like I laugh when I watch it.
I agree.
Will Forte is really funny, and I don't always think his stuff is funny.
Have you seen his interview where he's like, "Yeah, man, like I kind of feel bad about doing a show about a major pandemic." After
I heard about that.
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, it says like 2019 was the year the virus hit and killed everyone.
Well, what's
Yeah.
the premise? It's just he's the last man on Earth, or
He starts as the last man on Earth, and then he finds
Other people
someone.
show up.
Yeah, he finds a couple other people, and like, it's funny. Like most of it is based around him trying to have sex with the women that he meets.
Yeah, to repopulate.
Yeah, yeah, it's just funny. It's just a light, funny show. It's not anything crazy.
intriguing.
It's not like the new Breaking Bad, but funnier. It's just a comedy. I like it though. Moving on to gaming. Is there anything? I didn't catch anything.
I don't think so.
Hey, when does the Mass Effect 3 remaster come out?
I don't know. I'm waiting for that because I want to rebuy the trilogy, but I want to get it when the remaster comes out.
I guess they're thinking March 12th, but it doesn't seem like it's been announced, which is
Disturbing.
yeah, it's pretty soon for it to not be announced. I'm looking at this article. Maybe it says spring 2021. It does not say.
Okay, well,
So that's an estimation, is March 21st. I didn't see any new trailers either. Did you guys? Everyone's still reeling from Kong vs. Godzilla.
no.
Okay. So that puts us at 55 minutes. Everett's Game of Smartass?
Yeah. All right.
Do it.
Okay. I forgot who started last week. Who started last week?
It was
Do you guys
Emerson.
remember?
Yeah.
Emerson. Okay, so
Yeah,
Kia,
it's
then
Kia's
you're-
turn.
Go with person.
Person. All right. You guys ready? Here we go. I am a human. I have a muscular build. I have been to jail at least one time. I'm an expert driver and dabble in illegal street racing.
Oh, God.
I appear in over 5 films in the same series.
Which one is it?
I once stole $100 million from a crime boss in Rio de Janeiro. I ended up doing jobs for the U.S. government.
There's still multiple options.
I have driven a car off of a skyscraper. I hold family values closer than anything else.
Dom Toretto.
Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was him or Paul Walker's character, and then I was like, wait, all I know is Vin Diesel. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, do you know Dom Toretto? Because that was a lucky guess for me. I didn't think you would know that name.
Yeah, I was like, I just knew it was Vin Diesel.
What are you saying? I don't know who Dominic Toretto
No,
is?
I didn't think Emerson would know Dom Toretto. I'm surprised I knew it.
Oh, well, nice job. All right, Emerson, what's next?
Thing.
Thing. All right, here we go. I am very large. My first Why does that make you laugh?
It's just.
Is that a clue or a statement?
Thanks, Keith. Okay. My first appearance was in 1939. I have appeared in several movies. You guys are dicks. I have appeared.
I laughed because I didn't initially put that together. I was laughing because it's always funny. Your first comments for things are always, I am a base of operations. I am very large. I could fit in the palm of your hand. It's always one of those.
Well, I have to give you a descriptor. You have to
No, I
envision
know,
what the
I
thing
know.
is.
It's just funny. It's just funny. And then Kia made his joke.
All right, where was I? I have appeared in several movies, comics, video games, and television shows. God damn, every time I say one of these is going to have like fucking alternate meaning. I can fit multiple people. I am considered
Is this a thing? Is this
Yes,
a thing?
this is the thing.
Okay. All right.
multiple people can fit inside it. I am considered a famous staple of pop culture. I contain an onboard weapon system.
Batmobile?
Correct.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was thinking 1939. That pretty much cuts out almost every
No idea.
superhero except Superman, who doesn't drive. So. All right, whatever's the last one.
Place is the last one. You ready?
Okay.
I am covered in trash. I am home to many races and tribes. It is extremely easy to become stranded in this location.
Sakaar?
Correct.
God damn it, I didn't know what it was called.
I was
like,
on
what the
my
fuck is the
game
Thor
today.
Ragnarok?
That's 3 for 3, kid. You want the extra
Take
question?
the bonus.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, your extra question is, in the comics, the largest wormhole on Sakaar is called the Great Portal. What is its name in Thor Ragnarok?
It's like the one movie I haven't watched a million times.
I know it's something crude, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not
it
allowed to
is-
give him hints.
It is something crude, I know. The Great Anus?
No, it's the Devil's Anus. You still got 2 points this week,
I would
so
have never got that.
Emerson 6, Kia 4.
Damn. All right. Moving on to news.
There's a decent amount of news.
Kind of, yeah. So Dane Dehaan, who played the Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man 2, when asked if he is going to join Spider-Man 3, he says, there's no truth to the rumors. I don't even know how that would be pulled off, and I have no idea what they're doing with the Spider-Man movies now, but I don't really understand a world in which that would be possible. He was rumored at one point, both William Dafoe and Dane Dehaan, to be different versions of the Goblin.
That kind of feels like scripted, though. Like, people have lied before and ended up being cast.
I think that he could be lying. He's also right. Like, in what version of the script does William Dafoe and Dane Dehaan need to be there?
I mean,
And
unless they're
Dr.
just
Octopus?
jumping dimensions one by one for like 30-second clips. Like,
That's the only way. So maybe he is, and yeah. And by the way, if he is and that is the case, then I don't really even care.
yeah.
because it's just like a fun thing.
I would rather have Willem Dafoe. Like just
It
have
does
him.
legitimize those movies a little bit though, if they show up.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds says, before Disney bought Fox, Deadpool 3 was going to be a road trip between Deadpool and Logan, Rashomon style for real. What's Rashomon?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
But the road trip, isn't that kind of what Logan was?
Sorta, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know that would have been a great idea. In fact, it probably would have been the end of Deadpool, because the second one was already like kind of like its shtick was played out, and then you're gonna play out Logan while playing out Deadpool even more. And it's like, could you guys see a Deadpool 4 after that? Are you guys there? Oh.
No, I'm here. I'm just.
I don't know. The concept of a road trip sucks.
I'm tired of Deadpool. I've been speaking
Yeah.
about. I don't want to really even see a third one.
Yeah. It'll be interesting how it does financially. Like, I think a lot of people are going to see it because it's Marvel, and not so much because it's Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what Marvel does with it, just from a business standpoint. Like, are they going to let him go as far as he went before?
But I either way, I'm kind of done with Deadpool. I think he's overdone. Like, his shtick is. It was funny. Now stop.
Honestly, I want to see him with Spider-Man. Other than that, like, I'm done with him too.
Punisher. The rumor is that the Punisher is going to return to the MCU in a rebooted fashion. Which would make sense, because I think that they need to do that with all of those Netflix people if they're going to do that again. I don't know what Punisher story you could tell at this point. We did the revenge on his family thing like 9 times. That's pretty much all he's got.
Yeah,
I mean-
and so many people are like, well, I want to see the Punisher alongside the Avenger. It's like, what's he doing? He's going around just shooting people.
Yeah, if he's not angry, then
Well,
what's the
since we've
point?
seen the origin, why don't you can give him the Batman and Batman v Superman treatment, like have him already be into his career like a good few years, like be at the tail end maybe.
But what is he gonna do?
I mean, what's the point of having the Punisher then? Like he shoots people and says mean things.
I agree. I think they should have made Hawkeye Punisher in Endgame. Even though I like John Bernthal, I just don't see like what is the point of a Punisher unless you're going to do the whole my family was murdered, I'm going to get revenge. And then once you do that, what are you going to do after? He just kills people.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be cool like in a little episodic thing where he just does like, here's a bad guy, I'm going to kill him this week. Do that like for 6 episodes maybe. But beyond that, like cameos where he just shoots guns, I don't know. It's not like he's going to show up in Spider-Man and like blow a guy's head off.
Plus, we already have like 6 people that do the whole gun thing, so like there's really no
Yeah.
originality.
Do you guys like the idea of Hawkeye in Endgame? Like, shouldn't that have been his arc instead of becoming a ninja?
Well, Ronan is more accurate to his comic character, but I would have preferred it to be a little bit more Punisher-y.
It doesn't make any sense though. He was the Punisher.
Either way, it's sort of worthless because like he went like down into the dark, and now it seems like he's gonna be normal again, raising his daughter.
Yeah. How do you go all the way down and
Like walk back.
yeah, that's why Punisher should be like unhinged and he probably should have died in Endgame, even though his family got saved. That would have been like
The arc.
a proper arc. Yeah.
Did no one ask the question, like, Hawkeye went around for like 5 years going and murdering like cartel bosses and Yakuza. He made enemies. He's just going to go back to his family and
Well, yeah, I
ignore all
assume
that?
Sure,
that
it'll
might
pop
be-
up in his show.
Yeah, that'll probably be it. She's like a female Hawkeye, and they're like, we can't tell the difference. We're still going to kill you. So there's going to be a Harry Potter TV show. So
About what?
There's the Fantastic Beasts movies, and all that's been, Johnny Depp and J.K. Rowling. So Warner Brothers wants to like kind of move on from that. Not that they're stopped doing them, but they like want to diversify. So TV series on HBO Max. There's no word on plot details. A return to Hogwarts would make sense, but they don't really know anything. Yeah, that's it. And people are pissed because it's J.K. Rowling. And I guess Daniel Radcliffe came out and said like he wouldn't do anything if she was involved because she doesn't. She
because
didn't
of the controversy with.
She didn't hate trans people. She just kind of like said like I don't know if I'm all in on this without asking questions.
Whatever she did, it's been like double and triple and quadrupled down upon by the internet
on Twitter. Yeah.
Yes, where they basically like go back and forth and they like it creates a cycle of fury.
Yeah, to this date, I've never seen anything that she wrote that was like, I hate trans people. It was more like these long, giant paragraphs, which is probably a mistake anyway. Like, just don't. If you're going to have to explain that much, it's just going to get torn apart by the internet.
I don't think her problem is what she wrote, like you said. I think it's more along the lines of her retconning it to pander to people.
No,
that's not what they're angry about.
We're not talking about the content of Harry Potter. We're talking about her opinions,
her personal
on
views on transgender people.
But she hates trans people.
No, that's the problem.
We just said.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything about this. All I know is like what I don't like about her before.
Just pointed out something. I think her overall point was like, when you say that men are like equal to women, then you are somehow diminishing the role of the woman and like what they've gone through.
Yeah, and to me it kind of seemed like she was saying like transgender, like male to female people are like kind of invading women's space. Like I saw something about that.
Which she's probably going to end up on the wrong side of history for that. But she is right, at least in terms of athletics. Like that's already happened.
Yeah. But the point is that, like, you know, she made this statement, which that was the stupid thing. If you have any sort of following, you should never make any of these grand statements on social media.
Yeah,
the problem I have with transgenderism is, like, not so much what they're doing, but, like, the witch hunt that comes after you. If you have the audacity to even suggest that, like, maybe you don't fully agree with everything.
Careful,
that witch hunt
is yourself.
That witch hunt is not exclusive to transgenderism at all, though. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's like the thing right now for whatever reason.
Like cancel culture is everywhere.
Yeah, but with transgenderism specifically, there's like a specific like you're either with us or die type of mentality to it.
And to play devil's advocate for a moment, the reason they have adopted that mentality is for so long that was kind of like there were the people who accept it and the people who were like, you're a fucking monster, like get destroyed. But now it's like, I don't know. It's like everything today. It's been partisanized. It's become a partisan issue where it's like there's our side and the other side.
Well, you don't think this whole thing that you're describing isn't just the loud minority? Like
it is. Twitter absolutely is the loud minority.
But it doesn't matter because they get people to actually do things by being the loud minority.
The corporations go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Anne Hathaway apologizes for having 3 fingers.
Yeah. And that's the problem is like some businesses go with it, and it's like, okay, so can she not have an opinion? Like, can she just be like, I'm uncomfortable with this, and like, does she have to lose her job? Like, did they have to take Harry Potter from her? Like, how can you take Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling and be like, no, you can't be a part of this anymore? I mean, I guess they did it to George Lucas, but...
Well, George Lucas sold Star Wars. There's a difference.
Yeah, but he was kind of like... He was hated universally, which in hindsight is funny because the sequels were way worse.
It kind of went away once Disney kind of screwed the pooch on it.
Yeah, but still, the point stands. It was before that. Yeah. Now he's like looked upon much more favorably because he didn't butcher it the way that Disney did. Yeah. Anyway, Snyder Cut release date, March 18th.
Hey.
What day of the week is that?
I don't know.
March 18th is a Thursday.
So have they decided whether or not they're releasing it as one big film or in 4 episodes?
I think it's one thing.
It's one big film. Yeah, it's weird that they like
4 hours.
On that. It's also the day before the Falcon and Winter Soldier arrives.
Oh, we're gonna have a big review week that week then.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And then Godzilla vs. Kong got pushed back, didn't it? Partly because
Can
of
we
that.
make that our 200th episode? Where would that leave us? We're at 190 right now.
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
10 weeks out.
So 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98.
We could do some specials.
We'd have to add like 2 episodes somewhere in there.
Yeah, we could do like 2 small mini episodes reviewing something.
200 episodes.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It feels like yesterday we just watched, what was it, Avenger? Was it Endgame? Or was it Infinity War that was our 100th episode?
Yeah, Infinity War. Ray Fisher's back,
Oh, God.
and he says that, Justice League star Ray Fisher accuses Release the Snyder Cut author of misrepresentation.
What?
Okay. I don't even know. Okay, I'm just going to read the article. Justice League actor Ray Fisher has never been shy about publicly airing his grievances with Warner Brothers and those involved with overseeing the completion of the movie when Zack Snyder parted ways with the project, and now he's turned his attention to the author of the upcoming book, Release the Snyder Cut. What is that book? It's basically talking about why he left. I think I might want to read that. Weird.
I don't.
So it seems Sean O'Connell had reached out to Fisher to see if he's interested in writing the foreword from the book, and when a fan asked why that never came to pass, the writer responded, "Ray told me on September 8th that it wasn't the move for me right now, but that I appreciate you asking. We moved forward knowing that he couldn't do it, and just decided to do the book without a foreword." Apparently this is not what happened, because Fisher sent out the following tweet in response: "Please delete this and refrain from publicly misrepresenting our conversation."
Wow.
Jesus.
He deleted the tweet. At this point, I just want Ray Fisher to go away.
Yeah, I'm liking him less and less.
What a way to torpedo your entire career. Wow. Zack Snyder released a photo of Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's not a photo. It's what it appears to me is a photo of Cyborg wearing a helmet, and then there's a quote that says "There's a war coming" with Martian Manhunter. Like he's credited with the quote. So
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
An imaginary quote from an imaginary character.
Next
So,
to another imaginary character.
Snyder had previously confirmed that in his original vision for the film would have seen Harry Lennox's General Swanwick revealed to be Martian Manhunter in disguise. The plan was for Martha Kent to transform into the character as she left the room after speaking with Lois Lane in a scene which did make the theatrical cut. I think I remember that.
What?
It's like at her work or something, right?
Yeah, I remember that too, but what the fuck?
The filmmaker said he was able to shoot everything except Lennox's scene, so we assume this will be one of the restored sequences we see.
That'd
I mean,
be cool.
It
Kind
could
of ruins
be.
the spoiler, though.
Yeah. It's going to be a fucking crazy movie. Matrix 4 title seems to be accidentally leaked. It's called Matrix Resurrections.
Oh, no.
Nice. Cloverfield is getting a direct sequel.
Really?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Really?
While the original was shot in a unique found feature format, following a group of friends as they dealt with the aftermath of a city under siege by a giant monster, the sequel will not carry on that legacy and will instead be filmed more traditionally. So no official dates for any of that.
I can get behind that.
I
I mean,
yeah. The found footage aspect was kind of what you loved or hated about it. So, okay, it's going to be a traditional film where they talk about a monster.
Didn't they already try doing something like that, though? Like twice?
Godzilla, King Kong.
No, not Godzilla, King Kong. What were the two other movies in the Cloverfield
10
universe?
Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox are not sequels. They're
Those
like
are-
universe.
It's stupid to even say Cloverfield in the name. Like, it's a joke.
They're just using the name of the first one to get like hype.
Yeah.
Oh.
This one is a direct sequel to whatever happened there, and I gotta be honest, like I really liked the tone and the feel and the dynamic
And the way it
structure
ended
plot.
of
Yeah.
the first one. Yeah.
I don't really want to see a traditional film about.
Well,
like,
the other thing
what's
is,
the
like,
monster.
what could it be except them shooting the monster? They, like, try to kill
Yeah.
it. They fail. Like,
That's why a lot of people didn't like Cloverfield, was because they like monster movies, but that movie was not about the monster.
yeah, it was about the people. There was just a monster in there. But it's the same reason Godzilla 2014 was so good. Like,
Yeah.
movies that are monster movies where the monster is, like, this thing that's larger than life and you've got people are better.
Yeah. I might rewatch that Godzilla movie.
Highly recommend. That should be one of our specials.
Well, I'll probably wait for the Godzilla movie, the actual King Kong one.
Yeah,
And
that could be one of our
actually,
specials.
we do need to do Batman vs Superman.
That's true. So that should be one of our specials. See, we
could
can get
do
to
both.
200 for Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, we could fit those two in somewhere. Okay. Well, that's all I have. So what do we have next on the Tom Hanks train?
All right, let's bring it up, dude. He is, holy shit.
Yeah, he's already had the best filmography I've ever seen, and we're not
Yeah.
even we haven't even like scratched some of the great stuff yet.
I know, and we've got so much stuff going forward. It's like crazy. Okay,
Are we ever
so
going to
just-
do Toy Story or?
We've done
we
it.
reviewed it. So we just got Green Mile's done. Castaway is next.
Green Mile. Okay.
Ooh.
Castaway.
Castaway.
Will-
The next two after that are like really good.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Road to Perdition.
Road to Perdition. He's not really in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, is he? Is he
no,
an actor
he's
in
not.
that?
He is the producer of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got Road to Perdition,
and Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can, yeah.
Those two should be fantastic,
And then you get like some ones I've like The Terminal, Elvis Has Left the Building.
you've never seen Terminal.
No. The next one I recognize like is the Da Vinci Code, followed by Cars.
I think the Da Vinci Code one. Those are going to be rough.
We could skip that. We could skip.
Well, I've never seen them. That's the thing.
I've never seen them either.
We ever going to watch Sully?
I think yeah, it's not.
It's
Why?
like later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We're
that's
in
way later.
2000. We're in 2006 with the Da Vinci Code. The next one that like I really recognize that I'm incredibly like interested in, because then there's stuff like Cloud Atlas where it's like what the fuck.
Well, that's going to be a rough week.
Yeah, but then like 2013 Captain Phillips, like I like that one.
Yeah, and there's also that spy movie. That
Bridge of
World War
Spies.
II yeah.
That comes.
So, all right,
in
Castaway
2016.
next week.
All right.
All right, guys. I will
See
see
ya.
you next
See ya.
time.
Thank you for listening to the Iron Coop Fights Movies. If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, review our podcast on iTunes so that we can spread the show around. To contact the show, you can reach us at theironcoob@gmail.com and on Instagram at theironcoob. Join us for another edition of the Iron Coop Fights Movies.